Welcome back to Peniros Mind, guys. Yeah, it's happened. Yeah, here we go now. Here we go. Here we go. So close to home. So close to home. Breaking news. London coronavirus patient turned up in the hospital in a Uber taxi. All right. Now, this is the Lewisham Hospital, for those that know. Lewisham Hospital, right? Which is very, very close to home. The first person diagnosed with the coronavirus in London turned up unannounced at the hospital in an Uber taxi after falling ill, The Guardian has been told. Two staff from Lewisham Hospital of South London are now in isolation in a home after coming into contact with the woman, a Chinese national who had recently arrived from the capital of China. Now, what I was trying to explain is that the Chinese people would let a lot of people fly out of the country. Now, we all know when it comes to catching things, especially things that are contagious, down to things like colds and flus, sometimes it can take a few days to kick in, right? Let's carry on. Now, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Lewisham Hospital on Thursday confirmed the unnamed patient had not followed the public health officials' advice and had simply self-presented as it is an A&E unit last Sunday afternoon. So not only did this person come to the hospital, they walked into A&E with the virus. This is starting to sound like a whole, like they stitched this up. Like this, like, I don't know, it sounds a bit crazy. She did not arrive by ambulance on her own or in her own private vehicle, and went straight to the A&E reception desk and reported her symptoms. Both clear breaches of guidance aimed stopping the spread of the virus, as we just said. No other patients were exposed to the risk of the infection by the manner of her arrival, the hospital said. They said they don't want to panic anybody, you see, so they told them anyway. You know what I mean? Because that would just create mass panic in A&E. And we all know that A&E is a crazy place to be anyway. The woman was then sent home pending the result of her test. On Wednesday, she was taken to another London hospital, St Thomas, for treatment. In a message to staff, Ben Travis, the chief and executive of Lewisham and Greenwich NHS Trust, said, "We wanted to let you know that we have confirmed the case of coronavirus from a patient who self-presented at the A&E department of Lewisham Hospital last Sunday, February. The test result was confirmed as positive yesterday. Positive. So let's not forget though that not only did she walk into the A&E, how did she get there? Yes, she used public transport. How many people did she walk past, or how many shops did she go in before she got to the hospital? Right? These are the type of things you gotta think about. So let's go again. The test result was confirmed as positive yesterday, Wednesday, 12th February. This is just like 2 days ago, a day ago, yesterday. And we have been in touch with all the staff who came into contact with the patient. What about those? The patient went to a specialised unit at St Thomas yesterday evening, so we are now able to update all the staff. I hope you lot told every single staff in our hospital why that patient was there. Describing how the patient came to seek help at the hospital response, Travis added, in this case, the patient self-presented at our A&E. As soon as the patient did this, the patient was given a mask, then escorted to the dedicated area we have assigned for coronavirus testing outside A&E building, while waiting installation of a purpose-built pod. But the thing is though, so what, how did it go? Did she walk into A&E and say, I've got coronavirus? Or was she tested? Or did she walk into A&E and have to wait like everybody else there? And then see, you know how it goes, see the first doctor. Then they assess your symptoms. This woman assess her own symptoms. Because if she didn't assess her own symptoms and walk in there and say, I thought I've got coronavirus, then she must have been sitting in A&E for a little while. As a further assessment was required, the patient was taken to a dedicated isolation room in the emergency department in line with our protocols. Throughout their care, the patient was escorted and did not come into contact with the other patients. The patient later was discharged and taken home by a London ambulance service. Now, not to draw any panic, but any of the neighbours that live near this person, I hope you know what's going on. I hope they've been told what's going on. Or is that wrong? With families, and I don't know, is that wrong? I don't know. As a result of her walking straight into A&E, rather than going into the ambulance bay to be met by trained doctors and nurses of hazmat suits, home staff may be exposed to a risk of infection, obviously. Travis also added, all staff who had direct contact with the patient have been contacted, including 2 members of staff who are undergoing active surveillance at home for a 14-day period, a precautionary measures following the advice of Public Health England. Sorry guys, I'm tired if I'm reading this a bit crazy. So yeah, so basically that's how serious it is. They're being watched by surveillance for 14 days before they can even do anything. Like, so what does that mean? That sounds like it means to me that they're stuck in their house for 14 days. Right? Home monitoring. It's like having an ankle bracelet. Media reports have said the woman ran NHS 111 before going to the hospital, and the hospital was expecting a patient with suspected coronavirus. Okay, so they was expecting it. But the staff there also said it was unclear why, and despite apparent contacting the line, she still came in by taxi, given that the NHS telephone advice, where she even put the guy in the, so she did come by taxi, but she even put the guy in the taxi at risk in a closed environment. Because let's not forget, it's winter, so it's more than likely that the guy's windows are going to be closed too. You understand? And I hope he wasn't having no conversation. Boy, this is serious stuff. Like, if this is not a false alarm, this is serious stuff. Let's treat this as like it's serious for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Let's treat this like this is dead serious for a minute. You know what I mean? Right, so still came in a taxi, given that the NHS telephone advice called her ambulance or advised her to go in a private vehicle. Now look at this now. See, this is what I'm trying to say to you. This is where it can go both ways, and the conspiracy guys are going to jump all over it. The NHS told her and gave her advice that she should go in the ambulance, but she still decided to go in a taxi. Then she got out. Like, who does that anyway? Who does that? We all know that if you go to the hospital and you go by taxi, you get taken straight out the back. You get dealt with before everyone else in A&E. Everybody knows this. Like, maybe she didn't know, but most people know this. If you get taken, they usually deal with like chest pains and heart attacks. If you call the ambulance for anything like chest pains or anything like that, they're going to say to you to go in the ambulance and you're going to be seen before everybody else. So why would you do that? If she was advised to go in the ambulance, but she still decided to go and breathe out man's taxi. Them sort of things there should make you wonder, right? That should make you wonder. Now listen to this part now. Staff at the hospital said they were worried about the patient's behaviour. Could have led to some of them. And the patients in A&E at the time, obviously, catching the coronavirus. Some are also concerned of the Uber driver. I just said all this, you know, I just told you all this. Might be at risk, possibly others. Whoever passed this lady, if she's been in a shop, if she's been in any close contact, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is how the thing's going to spread much quicker and rapid. Dave Smith, the chair of Royal College of Nursing Emergency Care Association, said, it's worrying to hear that the public aren't following the public health advice by phoning NHS 111 to seek advice, therefore putting other members of the public and NHS staff at risk of contracting the coronavirus. And it's very true. The last thing we want is, okay, I think that's the end of the report. The last thing that we want, yeah, is for our nurses to be getting sick. That is not a good look. That is definitely not a good look. They're already complaining about there's not enough beds. The last thing we want to do is complain about there not being enough staff, you know. Then this is a serious thing, and this is very close to home. Very, very, very close to home. So right now, we're going to have to keep an eye on this. It's probably going to be another video on this one and we're going to leave this one here for now, just to give you the update of what, you know, what we just found out. And, you know, it's time that people start buying certain things. Buy some masks. Why not? I went to London Bridge the other day and I saw people walking around the London Bridge with masks on. There's people that are taking this very seriously, you know. But once we get more evidence to see what's going on, you know, we'll get back to you. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And check out Survival Minds Clothing. Peace.